Welcome! Your Fearless Aging podcast is taking off. The cheers are for you, wanting to age and live fearlessly. Here's your host, America's healthy aging trainer and creator of the ageless living lifestyle, Rico Cavaglia.
Hello, it is Rico Cavaglia, America's healthy aging trainer and creator of the ageless living lifestyle. And this is your Fearless Aging podcast. And as always, we have some really great guests and some really compelling, interesting topics that can really make a big difference in your overall health and well-being. And the topic for tonight is called Naturopathic Secrets to Protecting Blood Vessels for Longevity. I think most everyone realizes that our circulation system and our cardiovascular system is so important for health, and we need to protect it as much as we can. And of course, heart disease is still, I think, the number one killer of most people. So this is going to be a really informative and beneficial topic, so you want to stay around. So our guest tonight is a naturopathic and functional hormone doctor in San Diego. She was awarded her bachelor degree in biology with a minor in chemistry. And during college, she developed a passion for nutrition and began pursuing a career that viewed health as a holistic lifestyle involving food as nutrition. To convert this passion to a career, she has completed a 4-year medical degree at the prestigious Pasteur University in San Diego, California. And she uses a unique personalized medicine approach with her patients. She views each patient as a whole person rather than a set of symptoms and diagnoses. And the human body has an innate ability to heal itself when given the right circumstances. So she also uses a blend of naturopathic treatments to facilitate robust health, including nutritional counseling, targeted supplementation, detoxification, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, intramuscular injections, and intravenous IV therapy. And she welcomes both men and women of all ages into her practice. So let's welcome to our show Dr. Amber Crossgood. Is that right? Crossgood?
You got it, Crogsgood. Yep, great Norwegian
Crossgood. All right. So, well, Dr. Amber, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here. And I like to put you on the spot at first, and so people get a little bit of feel about you as a person. And so tell us a little bit about something that maybe people don't know about you, or something that you really love to do, or something that you're just passionate about, other than your profession.
Sure. Well, I live in a beach house right now, and we have, in our backyard, we have 7 chickens, and
whoa.
It's been kind of an excitement and a pleasure to be at this space and adopt these chickens into my life and eat the eggs and be so connected with,
welcome to the Why Not Now show.
With the earth and knowing where my food is coming from. But I just adore these chickens now that I have them, and learned a ton about the eggs and how they can stay good for 4 to 6 months. And there's this protective coating over the egg that's called a bloom. It's an antibacterial coating. Mm-hmm. You can leave that on, and you don't wash it off until you're ready to eat the egg, because it protects it. So yeah, it's been an adventure to have them.
Why not?
Okay, I want to come over. Can I come over and get some eggs?
Yeah,
I love eggs. I like eggs.
Let's talk it through.
Organic, healthy, pasture-free eggs are
the
one of the best foods. Really, total protein. I love eggs.
Each episode, I have a challenge.
I just want to ask you about that real quickly though. When you say there's that bloom over the egg, do you mean after you peeled it or not?
No, so the chickens actually, after they lay the egg, it has the bloom on it, so it's like a natural protective coating, and then you don't want to wash it off until you're ready to eat the egg. So it's something.
The shell you're talking about, or
the shell? The shell.
Okay.
The shell has it on there, yeah. So it protects the egg, and you can leave it, for I don't know, a couple months without refrigerating the egg after they lay it, because of that. So yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
pretty cool. They're really cool.
Chickens are really cool. Okay, so now you're going to be known as the chicken doctor.
I'm the chicken doctor.
Okay, that's good. That's fun.
He was a Buddhist monk.
Okay, so I'd like to also start by having you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to do and why you do what you do.
Yes. So I'm a functional naturopathic doctor,
on Headspace.
but my journey here started in Minnesota. I grew up really on a standard American diet, didn't know much about nutrition. As a child, ate a lot of fast food, and kind of came to knowledge of nutrition and biochemistry in high school and college, started doing some podcasting, and that's actually where I heard about a lot of, functional concepts, functional nutrition, listened to a lot about blood sugar management, and finally realized that, when I was coming home and eating ice cream and cereal and having a food coma, what was going on, and really learn these things for myself and realize how much nutrition and food impacted my energy and my ability to learn in school. And I was a tutor at 2 different universities and saw how nutrition really played a role in how agile a student's brain was to learn and retain information. And so that became a really formative piece for me in why I wanted to pursue this this journey of naturopathic medicine. I heard about naturopathic medicine through a podcast, so podcasts have been very instrumental for me, and I'm very honored to be on yours today. But yeah, so found out about naturopathic medicine, applied to the program. I was actually moving towards an MD route. I was passionate about nutrition in medicine and really wanted to be able to educate and use my knowledge and capacity to help people improve their health. And I realized that naturopathic medicine was just the best of all worlds. It's like a dual toolbox where I can use, botanical medicine, and I can use nutrition, and I can use mind-body practices, and then I can use, when indicated, for support, that side. But so I really love the tool set that I have as a naturopathic doctor, and I think it's so powerful that we spend, an hour and a half generally with our first office visit with a patient and really get to know their history and their stress and their sleep and their relationships, everything that really plays into their health and their well-being. So it's been an incredible journey, to say the least. Very challenging, very amazing, lots of personal growth along the way, becoming a healer, and also using these the knowledge that I've learned to benefit my own health as well.
That's so great. I congratulate you for that. I know it takes a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of discipline to work through all that. So again, I congratulate you for doing that. And also, I always want to add so people understand that, what we call mainstream medicine, allopathic medicine, and then we call this sort of things alternative. It's really upside down, right? I mean, naturopathic medicine and all the healing things that we've done for thousands of years, I mean, that's mainstream medicine. And in some cases, drugs and surgery and those sort of things can be an alternative sometimes, Sometimes they're necessary, sometimes they can be life-saving. So people need to understand that that's really is what's alternative. That's an alternative that, at last resort, you should try that. But I just try to get the message out to as many people as possible that you should consult with a naturopathic doctor. And as you said, you spend like an hour and a half with people, and you'll see a medical doctor. How long do you get to spend? Not very long at all.
15 minutes, a short appointment, So beautiful. Well said. Thank you.
So even before we go any further, I think people can see that they may want to connect with you and go see. So how can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me at my website, which is Dr. Amber ND. So DrAmber nd.com, and they can book an appointment with me from there. They can also find me on social media platforms and connect with me that way. Follow me. I'm always posting information and content. So they can find me on Instagram at Dr. DOCTOR Amber ND. And then on Twitter is the same. So that is probably the best way to get in contact with me.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into the topic for today. about some secrets to protecting our blood vessels. So
Yes.
let's hear about that. I want to hear about that.
Let's dive in. So this is really a place where naturopathic medicine and a lot of the tools that we have shine is in all the conditions that are related to blood vessel deterioration. So essentially, just to give a little bit of like basics on it. So we have blood vessels and we have endothelial lining, which is like a semi-permeable layer that lines all of our blood vessels throughout the entire body. And so what happens with certain chronic diseases is that we actually get a breakdown in the endothelial lining. We can form plaque there, which can lead to stroke and heart attacks. And so a primary goal, I'm going to talk about kind of some offenders, things that are going to break down or cause havoc to that inner blood vessel lining, and then also a bunch of strategies that can help to create a resilient endothelium and blood vessel health throughout the body. So, but some of the conditions, the chronic diseases that are linked to blood vessel deterioration, or what they call endothelial dysfunction, is such a long list. So cardiovascular disease, including heart attack, stroke, we mentioned, diabetes, hypertension, Raynaud's, where people get cold hands and toes, sleep apnea, even Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, so neurodegenerative conditions, where they call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes that has a blood flow component to the brain that's impacted, ED or erectile dysfunction, PAD, peripheral artery disease, and so many more. So there is no shortage of people with conditions that need to be building more resilient blood vessels. And even preventatively, even for a young person, to be thinking about how can I proactively be creating resilient blood vessels, healthy blood vessels now, so that I'm not facing those things in 20 years. So preventative medicine is a hallmark of naturopathic medicine, where we're trying to prevent these conditions because it's way easier to prevent it than it is to treat it in reverse. So there's a lot of offenders, we'll talk about those, and then there's a lot of things that we can do to benefit the blood vessels. So essentially, some of the big offenders that come to mind, and that if you have any, I'd love for you to chime in as well, but really are, I think about blood vessels in terms of, like exercise. We want to have buff blood vessels. We want to have really good tone. When they talk about like muscle tone, we want our blood vessels to have really good tone to be able to respond, to contract and dilate. And so when they lose the ability to contract and dilate, they become stiff. If you think about like a trampoline, so we want a trampoline to kind of bounce up and down, and then when the trampoline gets old and stiff, like it's not very bouncy and it becomes stiff, and so that's like atherosclerosis. That's what happens to our vessels, our blood vessels. So some of the big offenders is a diet that's super high in sugar. When we are consuming a high sugar diet, and that could be anything that breaks down to sugar in the bloodstream, right? So elevated blood sugar levels will decrease this compound in our blood that's called nitric oxide. And we need the nitric oxide to relax our blood vessels to vasodilate and open up the blood vessels. And when we don't have this, like our blood vessels are not able to be responsive like that bouncy trampoline. And so blood sugar is so important, and we're essentially like causing damage to that inner lining when we're constantly walking around with elevated blood sugar. So like when you have a morning breakfast that spikes your blood sugar, and then anytime you're having what they call like a food coma, and you have a big Thanksgiving meal and you get super tired after, you know that you're having this blood sugar dysregulation. And that is a good indication that your blood vessels are also not going to be treated